We know that he is telling to Arjuna, Anashrita karma palam karyam karma karotiha sa sannyasi cha yogi cha naniragnir na chakriya. In the previous shloka, he had told what to do. That is, he had already started the steps for meditation, how to concentrate, where to concentrate, and what to do in two earlier shlokas. Sparshan krutva bahirbhahyam chakshushtaivantere bhruvoh pranapano samo krutva nasabhyantara charano. Pranapana, the intaking and outgoing breath, make them equivalent. And you have to be Yatendriya Manobuddhir Munir Mokshapan. Vigatecha Bhayakrodaha. Leave all your fear, anger, and desires and sit. That is the instruction that he gave in the 5th chapter itself. It is not possible to do any meditation without learning to leave everything outside and try to sit relaxed. Our desires are such that it may not be easy for us to overcome. So he says, Anashrita karma palam, without depending on the karma pala. He has said in the 47th shloka of 2nd chapter, Karmanyevadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. That's the main part Krishna has been telling us. Don't worry much about the result of what you do. You do the work to the best of your ability and relax. Anashrita karma palam karyam karma karotiya. One who does the action without expecting any karma pala, sa sannyasi cha yogi cha. Look at this shloka. If one man can do this, he is equivalent to a sannyasi and a yogi. That's what Krishna says. So sannyasi cha yogi cha. He is also sannyasi, he is also an yogi. Who? Anashrita karma palam karyam karma karotiha. You can underline that. Just your duty is to perform whatever action that you ought to do in front of you. That time will decide. It will be different for different human beings at different levels. Do that for the best of the society. He gave many clues for us. Atma Shuddhaye, and then Padma Patra Mimambasa, Loka Sangraha, many things he gave. So do it in that level, just be relaxed. Anashrita karum palam karyam karma karotiha. Without depending on the karma pala, whoever does all his actions, sa sannyasi cha, he is a sannyasi. Look here, he is saying sannyasi to everyone who can do it like this. Sannyasa in Bhagavad Gita, as we saw in earlier chapter, it is a method of detaching ourselves from the world around. We are to be active, but still be detached, like Padma Patra Mimambasa. Do all your actions, whatever is necessary in the situation where you are in, but relax. Leave it to itself and wait. Whatever comes as prasadam, it's yours. So sannyasi, and also he doesn't stop at that, yogi cha. He is also yogi. Just simple. Anashrita karum palam karyam karma karotiha sa sannyasi cha yogi cha. One who does action without expecting any result for the good of the society is a sannyasi and a yogi according to Krishna. Na niragnir na chakriha. There are two more things. Sannyasi has nothing to do with the fire and offerings. He need not do any offering in the yajna. Niragni means sannyasi hasn't got agni. That's what it. You can also note that sannyasi need not do any homa and havanas. Niragni. So just because he has left sannyasi agni, he is not a sannyasi. Look here, beauty. Just because he has left agni, that is offering a thing in the fire to reach God, is not a sannyasi. And also, just because a man has stopped working, can't consider him a yogi. So yogi and sannyasi is that man who does all his action, anashrita karma palam karyam karma karotyaha. This is where the beauty of Bhagavad Gita lies. Anybody in any field of life can be of this height. Only Krishna could tell it. Anashrita karma palam karyam karma karotyaha sa sannyasi cha yogi cha na niragnir na chakriha. Na niragnir means sannyasi hasn't got anything to do with Agni, Homa Havana, etc. And yogi, just by living what he ought to do, doesn't become a yogi. A yogi is he who does anashrita karma palam karyam karma karotyaha. Beautiful definition of yogi in the very beginning of the 6th chapter. I think we can recite. Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha.
Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha.
Atha Shashtodhyayaha.
Atha Shashtodhyayaha.
Dhyana Yogaha.
Dhyana Yogaha.
Shri Bhagavan Vacha.
Shri Bhagavan Vacha.
Anashrita Karma Palam.
Anashritah Karma Phalam.
Karyam Karma Karotyaha.
Karyam Karma Karotiyaha.
Sannyasi cha yogi cha.
Sasannyasi cha yogi cha.
Niragnirna chakriyaha.
Naniragnirna chakriyaha.
Anashrita Karma Palam.
Anashritah Karma Phalam.
Karyam Karma Karotyaha.
Karyam Karma Karotiyaha.
Sannyasi cha yogi cha.
Sasannyasi cha yogi cha.
Nirna chakriyaha.
Naniragnirna chakriyaha.
Hope you have realized the beauty of that shloka in the very beginning. One of the greatest in Bhagavad Gita. A sannyasi can be a family man if he can do the work in this manner. His duties, his obligations, if he can do, he is equally a yogi and a sannyasi for Krishna. Yam sannyasamiti prahu yogam tamiti pandava. Continuing, Krishna says another interesting thing. That which is sannyasa is nothing but yoga, Arjuna. Yam sannyasimiti prahu. That which is said to be sannyasa, yogam tam vidhi Pandava. Know that it is also yoga, Arjuna. Arjuna Pandava is Arjuna here. Nahya sannyasta sankalpo yogi bhautikasana. Without giving up of desire, nobody can become a yogi. Nahya sannyasta sankalpo, underline that one. If one doesn't live his desires, cannot become a yogi. Somewhere in my YouTube video, I have told a story about a barber. There was a king's barber. King's barber, it was his job. He had a lot of respect in the barber community because he was king's barber. And one day, he was a rich man too, because he was appointed by the king for his personal shaving, cutting, and so on. One day, while he was going along the way after shaving king, he heard a voice from nowhere, Akashwani. Can I come? Can I come? Can I come? It said, to your house. Then this man asked, what? He said, I'm gold pots. Can I come to your house? And he did not know what to do. He ran home and asked his wife, there is a Vani from the top of the tree. Can I come to your house? It said it is gold pots. What shall I say? She scolded him back. Are you a fool? Did you need to take my permission to ask you to come home? First go back and tell it. And he ran back. And that said, yes, we want you. Come home. And then he began searching under the tree, where are the pots? Then it said, it's already at your house. And he ran back. And in one part of his hall, there were 7 pots, pots one after another, all filled to the brim except one, with gold coins. In the absence of the barber, his wife and children who saw were wonderstruck. What a luck we have gained! What a luck we have gained! 7 pots of gold. Nobody has it in this world except our king, and we have it. And we are next to the king. That's what they thought. They were so happy. Within a few minutes, the barber also came home. He also saw 7 pots of gold. Who has and who hasn't got? We do. After the king, we are the richest. That's what came to the mind of all the members of the family. Barber, his wife, son, and daughter. Suddenly, they got a feeling it may be known to the other people in the house. Shut the door. They shut the door. And they could not think of anything other than the 7 pots of gold. They covered a cloth over the pot so that if somebody comes, they should not see the pots. So much they were worried about the pot, the smile in the family, which used to be earlier, just stopped. All were worried about their wealth. If what would happen if we lose it? How can we protect it? And so on and so forth. The father, barber, doesn't talk to his wife. Children do not talk to their parents. The house became very silent. And then they observed, of the 7 pots, 1 pot was a little less full. 2 or 3 inches of space was left it to be brimful. Suddenly, barber had an idea. We must fill this pot also anyway. Then he thought, his wife had some jewelry. Daughter, he had made many jewelry for his daughter also. He put all those jewelry into the pot. It remained as before. It swallowed whatever he had put. It remained not brimful even then. Then he went to the bank and took a loan. As he was a king's barber, that was given, made them into coins, brought back and put them back in the pot. It did not become full. All were worried in the family. We don't have full pot. We don't have full pot. What should we do to have a full pot of gold? Barber, who used to talk very eloquently with the king, stopped talking. He used to wear very good dresses. Gradually, dresses became dirty. He used to have an upright face. Now face fell down. He used to come to the king like this. King also was observing. King asked, what's your problem? Then he said, the salary you have been giving is not sufficient for me to maintain the family, so I am a little worried. And the king asked him, what's the salary you would like to? He said, a big amount. King said, oh yes, go and tell the manager it will be done. And then also he remained the same, a worried man every time. And then his hand began to shake while cutting the hair of the king. King observed him, the change that is going on in him. It was not aging, but still he looked early aged man, not having a pleasant face, beautiful, active face, and so on. One day he asked, have the pots of gold come to your house, Baba? He was really surprised and shocked. He suddenly stopped his work and fell at the feet of king and said, how do you know that, Swamiji? Then he said, they were in my house previously. And I had also tried to make them full. with all my gold in the treasury, but it had not become full, and it looks that you have got the parts of gold in your house. And then he said, what shall I do? I want my piece back. What shall I do? Then king said, you do what I did previously. What did you do? I also took them back to the trees and kept them under the trees and said goodbye, came back happily. And then this barber went home, took all the 7 parts of gold, kept them under the tree, said, okay, came back. So these worries will take our life out. These worries will make us go down in life. So here, Nahya Sanyasa Sankalpo Yogi Bhavati Kasyana. Yam Sanyasamiti Prahu, that which is said to be Sanyasa, Yogam Tanmiti Pandava. That is also yoga. Karma yoga and Sanyasa are not two different things according to Krishna in this shloka. Yam Sanyasamiti Prahu, that which is said to be Sanyasa, Yogam Tam Vidhi Pandava. Think the same as yoga, Pandava. Nahya Sanyasta Sankalpo. Without leaving one's desires, without having given up the desires, your yogi cannot become a sannyasi. A man cannot become a yogi. So desires has to be stopped to be a yogi. That doesn't mean that we don't have to have anything. We have been saying it throughout. Attachment is different, having it is different. So here is a beautiful example. Yam sanyasamiti prahuhu, that which is said to be sannyasa, yogam tam vidhi pandava, that is also karma yoga arjuna. Nakhya sanyasta sankalpo, unless you given up your desires, sankalpa is desires, ambitions, yogi bhavati kasyana. Unless you leave your sankalpa, your desire, you leave your ambition, you will not become a yogi Arjuna. Therefore, sankalpa sannyasa ought to be done. Thinking of what would happen at every step if you do this, it is to be stopped. I think we can recite. Yam sanyasamiti prahuho.
Yam sanyasamiti prahuhu.
Yogam tam vidhi pandava.
Yogam tam vidhi pandava.
Nakhya sanyasta sankalpo.
Nakhya sanyasta sankalpo.
Yogi bhavati kasyana.
Yogi bhavati kaschana.
Yam sanyasamiti prahuhu.
Yam sanyasamiti prahuhu.
Yogam tam vidhi pandava.
Yogam tam vidhi pandava.
Nahya sanyasta sankalpaha.
Nahya sanyasta sankalpaha.
Yogi bhavati kasyana.
Yogi bhavati kaschana.
I told in 2 different ways the pronunciation of the second line there. Nahya sanyasta sankalpaha, I said once. If you have to break, that will be visarga there. 2 zeros after. And if you continuously say, Nahya sanyasta sankalpo yogi bhavati kasyana. Both ways are right. Sometimes we split, sometimes we do not. That's all the difference there. You have to notice. I have told you earlier, but I am repeating it again because some of you may be still in confusion. Why I added visarga one side, why I did not add another side. And we go to the next one. Arurukshor muner yogam karma karana yuktate. One who wants to become a muni, for him karma is the means. Karma karana uchyate. You ought to do the work. Without, we have seen in the 3rd chapter, nahi kashit kshanamapi jatu tishtatya karma krutu. And also ultimately Krishna said, I don't have anything to gain, but still I have been working all through. So, arurukshor munerem yogam karma karanam. One who wants to rise to be the status of a muni, karma is the way to it. When once you rise to be a yogi, controlling renunciation will be the next steps. Renunciation of karma pala. That's the only thing that we can do. That will make him better man. Aru rukshor muner yogam karma karna uttade. For the discriminating person wishing to attain yoga, that is one who wants to become a yogi, karma yoga is said to be the means. Doing all your karma with yajna bhava, having yagnashishta as the prasada, the result of it, that's the way. For a person who has already yogi, and then he has to renounce everything, leave everything and get out. That is nishkama karma, that there once we said. He does everything but Naishkarma Siddhi. That is the word we used in the third chapter also. You have underlined that. That Naishkarma Siddhi is the position of a sannyasi. That will be the next one. So when one wants to become a yogi, he ought to do with it karma. When that one is done properly, renunciation is said to be the necessary qualification to become a sannyasi. Become a sannyasi. Aru rukshor muner yogam karma karana uttete. One who wants to become a muni, karma is the means. Muni means a great seer, great person, a man, happy man. As we said in the second chapter, the short of a happy man, happy man. Again and again, I had to say this. Our desires make us think that we would be happy if we satisfy some of these desires. Then take it from me, Krishna says, that is never the way to be happy. Accept what you are having today and now, and accept present condition is the best. You are the happiest on earth even today. You need not search anywhere. A man with all rich may not be happy because he is always worried what would happen to his money, when would the robbers come to house, and so on and so forth. But a man who is free from all desire, even when he has money, he will be a free man. Therefore, Aru Rukshor Munere, when you want to become a Muni, karma is the karna. And after yoga, once you become a Muni, Shama karna uchyate. Renunciation is said to be the next step. Renounce everything and be relaxed. That is the next step. I think we can recite. Aru rukshor muner yogam
Aru rukshor mune yogam
karma karana muchyate
karma karanam uchyate
yoga rudasya tasyaiva
yogarudasya tasyaiva
yama karana muchyate.
shamah karanam uchyate.
Aru rukshor muner yogam
Aru rukshor mune yogam
karana muchyate
karma karanam uchyate
yoga rudasya tasyaiva
yogarudasya tasyaiva
yama karana muchyate.
shamah karanam uchyate.
Shama that you have already taken in the steps of yoga yesterday. Those are the 5 things which you know. That is the reason to man to become a yogi. Shama, there are 4 or 5 steps. What are they? Ishvara Pranidhana. I think you have the list there, Swati. What are the 5 in Shama?
I don't have a shama, but in niyama I have shaucha, santosha,
Nima. In Nima, yeah.
shaucha, santosha, swadhyaya,
Yeah.
ishvara pranidhana, and tapas.
In tapas, yes. And we go to the next sloka. यदा हि नेन्द्रियार्थेषु न कर्मश्नुषज्यते सर्वसंकल्प सन्यासी योगारूढ़स्तदुच्यते. As and when a man leaves all his sankalpas, that man is said a sannyasi and also a yogi. When one is attached neither to the sense and one is attached neither to the sense object nor to the action, then that person is said to be one who has attained liberation. Liberation is a simple thing. I think I told you a story in the beginning of the class. A man was always worried. He didn't know what. He used to have tension, as if something was gone wrong. And he went to the regular doctors and told him that I am always restless, I don't know why. Doctors prescribed him some tablets to keep him cool, but that did not work. And then he thought maybe some psychiatrist has the solution to his problems. And when he went to his psychiatrist, they took some sessions with him and then said, no, I don't think there is anything wrong. But still this man was restless. Somebody suggested there is a yogi in the forest. You can go and contact him. Maybe he has got a solution to your problem. And this man went to that man and fell at his feet. And the sannyasi asked him, why are you here? And this man said, I am restless. I don't know the reason, but I want to know the reason for my restlessness. I went to the doctor, it did not help. I went to the psychiatrist, it did not help. Somebody suggested that you could help me, so I am here with you. And the sannyasi said, you ought to be with me for a fortnight. Would it be possible? I can do anything if my tension can be relieved. Then he said, okay. So they were together. And wherever sannyasi went, he also went. Sannyasi brought whatever he got from his bhiksha. They shared and ate, and they were going together. This man was always wondering how this sannyasi could be so happy. Not getting an answer, he has not taught him anything also. He has asked him to follow him wherever he went. One day, both of them were going in a forest, a deep forest. Sannyasi dropped his bag and began to run. This man didn't know what happened to his guru. He took the bag and he also began to run behind the sannyasi. He ran and ran and ran until he was very tired. He ran. The sannyasi ran. This man also followed him in running. And ultimately, sannyasi held a tree so tightly and said, release me, release me, release me, release me. This man was really surprising. Swamiji is holding the tree by himself and he is asking me to release. But what can I do here? And he could not think of anything because that situation he did not expect at all from that man. After some time, he got his senses back, the follower. He said, Swamiji, you are holding the tree and you are asking me to release. How can I release unless you make an effort to release? Swamiji held the tree for some more time and he later released it. Then asked this man, did you get a solution to your problem? This follower was surprised. You were holding the tree, you left the tree. How can I get a solution to my problem? He asked. That is all the problem. You are holding to the world and therefore you are unhappy. If you can leave it, anytime you can live and relax, then you will be a happy man. So then he understood the problem. The attachment sometimes make us old. Before age, we get old because of the worries. If you can overcome that, it's a belief in God. It's a belief that's very essential here. It's a belief in God. Maybe that is given to you to face in this world. You will be a relaxed man throughout. Yada hi nendriyarteshu na karmashanushujyate sarvasankalpa sannyasi yogarvas tadochyate. A sannyasi has no sankalpa at all, no desires left at all. When you control over your senses, yadahi nendriyarteshu nakarmasanushajyate. When one is attached neither to sense object nor to the action, but he does everything, not attached. That's the word important there. Then that person is said to be one who has attained liberation, who has attained mukti, and who has renounced the cause of all desires. renounced the cause of all desire. Desires are no more in him. He has accepted the present as the best time in this world. The happiest man he becomes. So, yada hi nendriyarteshu na karmasya nishadhyate. When a man is attached neither to sense object nor to action, that is to say, he leaves the sense object nor action, then that man is a man who has left every desire, attachment, is a sannyasi and a yogi. He is also a sannyasi and he is a yogi, he says. I think we can recite. Yada hi nendriyarteshu
Yada hi nendriyartheshu
na karmasvanusajjate
na karmasvanusajjate
sarvasankalpa sannyasi
sarvasankalpa sannyasi
yoga rudastadochyate.
yoga rudastadochyate.
Sarvasankalpa sannyasi
Yada hi
yada hi nendriyarteshu
Yada hi nendriyartheshu
na karmasvanusajjate
na karmasvanusajjate
sarvasankalpa sannyasi
sarvasankalpa sannyasi
yoga rudastadochyate.
yoga rudastadochyate.
You can underline this second line, Sarva Sankalpa Sannyasi Yoga Rudastadochyate. That is, one who hasn't got any desire left in him and he is happy with whatever he is having at the present, he is a yogi, he says. Yoga Rudastadochyate, he is a yogi. And Bhagavad Gita is an enlightening book because of certain shlokas in it. The next one is one of the best in Bhagavad Gita. Uddhared atmanatmanam natmanam avsadayet. It is to Arjuna, it is to me, and it is to you, Krishna is telling. If you want to have uddhara come up in life, you have to do it yourself. Uddhared atmanatmanam. One has to lift oneself up. Natmanam avsadayet. One should not make him go down. One should not make himself go down. Because Atmaiva Hatmano Bandhu, one's friend is himself and Shatru is also himself, one of the greatest shloka. Where is your enemy? The enemy is within. If we are happy with ourselves, we are our friends. If we are always craving for something that would make us happy in the future, we are our enemies. One of the beautiful shlokas in Bhagavad Gita, which you have to underline, Uddhared Atmanatmanam. One has to lift oneself up. Natmanam avsadayet. He must not make him fall down, go down, deteriorate. Atmaiva Hatmano Bandhu. The nearest relative advisor for you is your own Atma. Your Bandhu is your Atma. And your Shatru is also your Atma. The inner feeling. This is a beautiful shloka. If we can understand it, half of our problems are over. Shatru, the enemy, is not outside actually, it is inside. If we are happy with what we are the happy people. If we are not at all happy with we are not happy at all. So he says you have to make your own uddhara. If you want to happy, you must be happy within yourself. Uddhared atmanatmanam. One has to lift oneself up. No other will come. How long can you lift a man who wants to climb the tree until you can hold him up? Later, you have to leave, he will fall down. So, everybody ought to try to become a perfect man by himself, Uddhared Atmanatman, and he must not spoil himself down. Atmaiva Hatmano Bandhu. This is a beautiful shloka because your friend is your Atma. Atmaiva Hatmano Bandhu. Atmaiva Ripuratmana. Your enemy also, your inner feeling. So we have given with a mind which looks like enemy, we can change it by our changing, by our understanding of the nature. We can be I can be a friend of myself, you could be a friend of yourself. That is what Krishna says. You have to lift up yourself, nobody will come. Uddhared atmanatmanam. Everybody has to lift himself up. Natmanam avasade, na avasade. You must not allow yourself to go down. What a beautiful advice to Krishna in the war field to Arjuna. And then Atmaiva Hatmano Bandhu. That's one of the greatest. If you are a pleasant man, having done everything okay, tension free, even today, maybe you are near this shloka which Krishna has been telling. Not that everybody ought to learn newly. Some of them have to recognize, oh, this is there. God has given to me this position even now. You can be happy with it. For others, they may have to change certain things to become friends of themselves. So here is a beautiful shloka. Let us recite. Uddhared atmanatmanam
ಉದ್ಧರೇದಾತ್ಮನಾತ್ಮಾನಂ
atmanamavasadayet.
ಗುರುಗಳೇ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾತ್ಮಾನ ಅಂತ ಇದೆ.
Na atmanamavasadayet. That's right. Na atmanamavasadayet.
ನಾತ್ಮಾನಮವಸಾದಯೇತ್.
Atmaiva hyaatmano bandhuhu.
ಆತ್ಮೈವ ಹ್ಯಾತ್ಮನೋ ಬಂಧುಃ.
Atmaiva ripuratmanah.
ಆತ್ಮೈವ ರಿಪುರಾತ್ಮನಃ.
Uddhared atmanatmanam.
ಉದ್ಧರೇದಾತ್ಮನಾತ್ಮಾನಂ.
Na atmanamavasadayet. You got it, Swati, why it is not there? You must
Yes.
not allow yourself to go down. Natmanam avasadayet. Yeah. Atmaiva hyaatmano bandhuhu.
Shall I repeat the Atmana line?
We will do it from the beginning. Uddhared atmanatmanam.
ಉದ್ಧರೇದಾತ್ಮನಾತ್ಮಾನಂ.
Atmanam avasadayet.
ನಾತ್ಮಾನಮವಸಾದಯೇತ್.
Atmaiva hyaatmano bandhu.
ಆತ್ಮೈವ ಹ್ಯಾತ್ಮನೋ ಬಂಧುಃ.
Atmaiva ripuratmanah.
ಆತ್ಮೈವ ರಿಪುರಾತ್ಮನಃ.
Ripu is Shatru. One is Shatru for himself. That is what is said. And who is a happy man? Who is not a happy man? He tells us next. Bandhur atmatmanastasya yenatmai vatmana jitaha. One who has won over his senses and mind and other things is a friend of himself. Bandhur atmatmanastasya yenatmai vatmana jitaha. By himself he has won over the desires. He knows what is desire. He knows their limits. He has understood. He has overcome. That man is a bandhu for himself. And then anatmanastu shatrutve vartayit atmayo shatrut. I usually give the example here of shatru for oneself in the worst level. The addicts, liquor addicts, for example. They are not happy people, but unless they drink, they don't think that they can live. It will be almost their death. Or drugs, or any other habit for that matter, repeated habits. They cannot be happy. Not that if a man tastes the jalebi, it's okay. But if a man desires of jalebi every time, as I said in the second chapter, in his dream, in his meditation, it comes, he is an addict. This addiction makes us unhappy. Bandhuratmatmanastasya yenatmai vat. Who is the manager of these senses? Are you the manager, or the senses are your manager? If the senses are your manager, they will take you wherever they want. You have got 5 or 6 enemies within you. 5 senses: eyes, nose, ear, tongue, skin, all the 5. They can take you any way they like. And you are not the manager, they are the manager. You are an unhappy man, because you have to ride wherever they ask you to go. But you are the controller. You will tell them, if the desire comes, yes, there is a time I will satisfy you, keep quiet. and then it ought to keep quiet because you are the controller. Then you are a happy man. Just simple. If you are guided by desires, you are unhappy. If you guide your desires, you could be a happy man. Uddhare bandhuratmatmanastasya yenatmai atmanajitaha. One who has overcome all his desires, anger, fear, all the three which he said in the previous shlokas, he is a bandhu of himself. He is a happy man, a pleasant man, wonderful man, and very near to the condition which Krishna has been giving us in this chapter. And anatmanastu shatrutve vartayitatmaya shatruvat. One who has no control over his desires, he leaves himself as his enemy. Enemy is not outside, enemy is inside. I gave you the example of drugs. They are the worst people on earth. They cannot come out of their problem. Therefore, they are their enemies. Krishna tells that in the warfield to Arjuna. Bandhuratmatmanastasya yenatmai atmanajitaha. One who has won over his own desires and senses and mind, he is a bandhu of himself. He is a friend of himself. Anatmanastu shatrutve vartayit atmaya shatruvat. When he is the servant of desire, desire takes him wherever the desire wants to take him. He is a shatru of himself. He has not won over anything. He has surrendered to everything, every desires of his. He is the unhappy man. This is the difference between. It is an extension of the fifth shloka. Fifth and sixth are saying about the same thing almost. I think we can recite. Bandhuratmatmanastasya
Bandhuratmatmanastasya
yenatmaivatmanajitaha
yenatmaivatmanajitaha
anatmanastu shatrutve
anatmanastu shatrutve
vartetatmaiva shatruvatu.
vartetasmaiva shatruvat.
Bandhuratmatmanastasya
Bandhuratmatmanastasya
yenatmaivatmanajitaha
yenatmaivatmanajitaha
anatmanastu shatrutve
anatmanastu shatrutve
vartetatmaiva shatruvat.
vartetatmaiva shatruvat.
And then continues Krishna. Jitatmanaha prashantasya paramatma samahitaha. One who has won over the senses, anger and fear and jitatma, he has won over all those things. He is near to the cosmic consciousness. He is near to the God. He is a happy man. Jitatmanaha prashantasya paramatma samahitaha. He is near to Paramatma. He is in Paramatma. Shitoshna sukha dukkeshu tata manapamanayo. How is he? Anything that comes, God given accept. Whatever you could do in this situation, do. Krishna says, you ought to. So, Shitoshna sukha dukkeshu tata manapamanayo. Cold, you cannot worry and remove the cold. You see, accept it. It's there. Ushna, heat, it is there, accept. Sukha, dukkha, they are two parts of the same coin. You cannot have one and don't want to have the other. When day is there, night is also there. When sukha is there, dukkha is also there. So, one who is ready to accept the sukha must also be ready to accept the dukkha that comes in the way of his life. Sukha dukkeshu tata manapamanayoho. Sometimes you are respected, sometimes you are insulted. Accept them both. Here is a thing that I must clarify. There are some people do anything, let anything happen to them, even if they are jailed, They live as if they did not do anything wrong at all in their life. Still, they consider themselves to the leaders fit to rule the country. After having jail for many years, having eaten fodder. I think you catch whom I am referring to. So, that is not manapamanayoho. If somebody insults you for your not having done something, you must be living it. I can give you a beautiful example of our Swamiji, whom I refer to. Who is that? Mukundur Swami. There is a small book in Kannada. Yegdagella aite. Everything is in yoga. I think maybe it is translated into English. Many of my old students may be having it. There is a Swami who was working for railways. So he was carrying mud on his forehead. These our missions were not there when they began the railway tracks. They carried it on head. That man gets God realization. Mukundur Swami he is called. He was in somewhere near Kadur in Karnataka. So one day, he was in Devnur at night. It was a night. There was a jatra in Devnur. He was walking with his dress and jolge. Jolge, you know, his bag. Sannyasis have a cotton bag to carry the other dress for the next day. That's all they have. So he was walking along at night in Devnur because it was a jatra day. All the people were walking. This man was also walking. There was a duty policeman. He saw this man. The policeman thought, the sannyasis take opium. And he must be having something in his, some leaves of that opium leaves in his bag. And he went and asked sannyasi, give me something. So give me the opium you have. They are the leaves, I don't know what they call in English. That should not be grown. The government has banned. Huh? Did anybody say an answer to that? No, it's okay. If you have understood, it's okay. And then sannyasi said, no, I don't. He had lati in his hand, you see, power. He gave 2 or 3 blows to the sannyasi. And sannyasi, this our Swami, did one thing. He removed his dress and bag, put it before this policeman, stood naked for some time. If there is anything you can search and take it, he stood naked. Then policeman said, he said, useless fellows, why do you come here? He said something, scolded him and walked out. And you all got angry with the policeman. But this sannyasi put on his dress again, took his bag again, walked as before. Manapamane is not that do something that is disgraceful, still be showing a big face. You haven't done anything, that still there are allegations that you did something. Then you take the avamana in this manner. That is what the Krishna's advice must mean for us. Jitatmanaha, one who has controlled over his own feelings. Paramatma samahitaha, one who has very near to the Paramatma, Atmajnana, Paramatma Jnana. He takes Shitoshna Sukha Tata Manapamanos. He takes Shita, Ushna, Sukha, Dukkha, Mana, Apamana equally. They don't make any difference for this man. This man is a Jnani. This man is a great man. Let us recite. Jitatmanaha prashantasya.
Jitatmanaha prashantasya.
Paramatma samahitaha.
Paramatma samahitaha.
Shitoshna Sukha Dukkeshu.
Shitoshna Sukha Dukkeshu.
Tata Manapamanayoh.
Tatha manapamanayoho.
Jitatmanaha prashantasya.
Jitatmanaha prashantasya.
Paramatma samahitaha.
Paramatma samahitaha.
Shitoshna Sukha Dukkeshu.
Shitoshna Sukha Dukkeshu.
Tata Manapamanayoh.
Tatha manapamanayoho.
Do the prayer, Swati, this time.